Good evening, Des Moines, Iowa, and the rest of the country. Thank you so much for tuning in. This is the Doc and Lefty program. I am Lefty. As always, we're bringing you the perspectives you love from the sides you hate. And across the table, he keeps telling me that his climate is changing, but his weather stays the same. It's Dr. Petrosh. Doc, how is it going this evening?
It's going pretty good. I like those. I like that. Look at that up there. My hair's all kind of messy. See, flip Lefty back up there. See, there's yours right there.
Oh, I can't tell.
What?
The screen's behind me.
I know. Turn around and look. Let's see.
It looks the same to me. I don't know.
Oh, all right. Well, everything's going well.
Good.
I am back from the mid-Pacific in the world's most isolated area. Had a great time out there. Only got assaulted one time by a cockroach about as long as my finger, and that was quite exciking.
I didn't realize that Ted Cruz is out in Hawaii. Ha 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 ha.
Yesterday.
Just kidding, Ted. We love you.
I was reading an article published in. I wish I could remember. I have it right here, but it was a psychological article that started out by, "Why does Ted Cruz's face make us so uncomfortable?"
I saw. I think I saw that too.
And I thought, oh man, it's another hack job. And this guy really did a pretty good, thorough job. Well, this is why, and I'm like, holy cow, that's got scientific validity, because that's the same stuff I learned when I was growing up.
And some of the things made sense to you.
Oh yeah,
yeah.
So I figure, who doesn't like Grandpa Munster, right? I'm all right with that, but
sure. Well, as from one guy who has been told he has a slappable face to another guy, Ted, I feel for you. It's the sense that we know more than everybody, and we know more than everybody, and everybody realizes that we know more than everybody.
And that's why you want to slap Cruz, because he knows everything.
Just slap him right across the face. Yep.
All right. So how have you been? I heard you had a couple of gigs while I was away.
Oh man, I'll tell you what, being somewhat in demand is a new feeling. I'm playing every single weekend this month, and I'm taking some time off in March, but it's pretty cool. I played at I'll tell you a quick story. I played at the new Cuban bar, Ceviche, in East Walnut. It's just opened in September, and I was supposed to play from 9 until midnight, and it's a small place where even 15 people feel packed, right? It's a small little venue, and I had a crowd of maybe a few years older than me. I would say maybe in their 40s, a bunch of couples in there just partying to everything that I played, shouting out songs. Basically, I didn't play anything off my regular set list for about an hour and a half, 2 hours, which makes the gig go by really fast. And it was awesome, and they had a great time. Well, two of the guys, the guy that was throwing all the money at me, he and his buddy came back about 11:30, and I played for a little while longer. And they were having a great time. They were chatting back for. They were talking to me. At this point, it was getting close to midnight, and it was just the three of us, the bartender, a couple of my friends that were still hanging around. And this guy was about to request another song, and his phone rings. He looks down. He looks at his buddy. He says, "Oh no, hello. I know. No, I'm back at the bar. I'm back at the bar. I wanted to see the guy with the." Okay. Hangs up the phone. We got to go. Basically, my gig got that guy in trouble with his missus, and it was nice to be on that side of the equation for once in my life, rather than on the other side getting in trouble for being out at a bar late at night. And it was nice. What goes around comes around.
Oh, that's fantastic.
Yeah.
I'm glad you got some good karma going on.
Yeah. Burning it off, man.
Oh yeah. Well, I got the treat of eating at a place called the Blue Dragon. Two things about that. Holy smokes. I got assaulted by something.
Yeah. That cockroach found you.
Oh man, it did. You should have seen this cockroach. It wasn't even in dirty clothes or anything. It just came flying out of the closet. It looked like it was that big. I screamed like a girl. Anyways, down at the Blue Dragon, there is a guy that used to be an instrumentalist for a band. And for the life of me now that something attacked me in the eye, I can't remember. We got to listen to him. He did a set of old blues and jazz songs, one of which was Sweet Home Chicago. Mm-hmm. And I got to sing. And then right after that, I got to taste this honey that is made from a berry, from a flower that I can't even pronounce. And I would say it's Jamiroquai, but I'm pretty sure that's a guy or a band or something.
Yeah, that's a one of those artists from the 90s, early 2000s. Yeah.
Yeah. And I will tell you, I have never tasted honey like that ever. And it was awesome. So I had a pretty awesome week. I got to go up to the Mauna Kea Observatory and drive around. And this time I didn't get goofy and pass out from lack of oxygen. I made sure I took plenty of oxygen with me up there. Basically, I just blew into a big plastic bag, hoping that there was enough oxygen in there. And I made it back down. That was pretty exciting.
Cool.
So that's about what I did. What'd you do, Maddie? She just worked.
Making everybody else look and sound good.
Yes, absolutely.
Yeah, that's a pretty hefty lift.
Yes, especially me.
Well. So, Doc, I gotta say, I mean, we're kind of at a loss here. We had this whole thing lined up, and one of our guys couldn't make it, and so that's a shame. But why don't you tell folks what we're going to be going over today?
Well, what we're going to go over, we're waiting for. First, we thought Ed Fallon was going to join the show because I was on his show yesterday, and we were talking, caucuses and what's going to go on down the road. We can talk a little bit about that because there's some interesting numbers coming out of New Hampshire. And then we're going to talk about climate change and the goonery that goes along with it. But, of course, Ed didn't show up. Michael Libby, at short notice, said he would come, and so I'm hopeful that he'll be here pretty quick because he's a pretty smart guy. Plus, it makes me feel natural to be overrun with liberals. When I have a conservative on here, it just doesn't feel the same for me.
You've got that oppositional complex, man.
Yes, and I do well with that. Now, I will say, because my brother's absolutely right, when I scream like a girl. And the best example of that is I was swimming around in the ocean, snorkeling, and I stumbled into a sea turtle. A sea turtle is one of the nicest creatures that in the ocean. It just swims away from you. Anyway, a sea turtle came up out of the sand, bumped me in the face mask, and I screamed so loud through my snorkel that people on the beach stopped and were looking out at me. And then I stood up, and of course the water was only up to my knees because I'm kind of a chicken when it comes to the water. And that's the end of that story. Hopefully that was a good story for you.
Well, no, I really liked it, especially the part where you stood up and it's kind of like that, kind of like those times where there's a shot of the guy falling off the building and he catches himself 6 inches from hitting the ground.
Yes, that's absolutely true. They actually had people out there swimming way out in the ocean, and I'm like, I wouldn't do that. So, all right, I think we've covered enough.
Sure. Why don't you let us know what who's taking care of the show?
Well, Maddie G. She's taking care of the show. I want to thank all of our sponsors. I want to take care of Jen Allen, who's our social media girl. Check out our sponsors: Des Moines Anesthesia PC, 515-574-6442. They do a great job with pain management and anesthesia. They're here in Des Moines and in Fort Dodge. Lubinas Law Firm at LubinasLawFirm.com. Bertrosian Associates at BertrosianAssociates.com. Halo Capital at DesMoinesInterestrates.com. And Joe, I know you're listening. I think you should start advertising right at BertrosianLaw.com right up here on the sponsor page for a mere $1,500 a month.
That's sounds like a bargain.
Family discount.
That sounds like a bargain.
We'll be back right after this break. Thanks everybody for tuning in.